Aloha, everybody. This is Tiggy Maximus with Tiggy Maximus Talks on YouTube, and I believe this is episode 26. Um, I just want to get on here quickly. I want to uh, give my predictions for NFL Week 3. And there was already one game that already occurred on Thursday Night Football on Amazon Prime. It was the Steelers losing to the Cleveland Browns, 1914, I believe. That was a good back and forth game. Both sides just grinding out for 3 hours, and the Browns pulled out a victory. Um, and I have Nick Chubb on my fantasy football team, so um, he did pretty well for me in in some ways, most ways actually. Anyways, let's get into the picks. So first up, we have the Saints visiting the Panthers. Um, I think I'm gonna lean towards picking the Panthers to win this one. It'll be their first victory of the season. And then we got the Texans visiting the Bears. And this one I have the Bears beating the Texans. Um, we got the Raiders playing the Titans, and I have the Titans winning at home. Next up, we have the Chiefs visiting the Colts. I have the Chiefs winning in that one. Bills are visiting the Dolphins. I got Bills beating the Dolphins. Lions and Vikings. I'm picking the Vikings to win this one, but it might be a shootout actually. Then we got Ravens and Patriots. I got the Ravens beating the Patriots in Foxborough. Bengals visiting the Jets. I have the Bengals beating the Jets. Eagles at Commanders. I got the Eagles beating the Commanders in Washington, D.C. Rams visiting the Cardinals. I'll pick the Rams to beat the Cardinals. Falcons visiting the Seahawks. I'll pick the Falcons. Packers visiting the Buccaneers. I got the Buccaneers winning that one. And I'm picking the Chargers over the Jaguars at SoFi Stadium. And Sunday Night Football, we got the 49ers visiting the Broncos, and I'm picking the 49ers to win that one. So, and then I guess I'll add on, you know, Monday Night Football, Cowboys visiting the Giants, and uh, you know what? I'll pick the Giants to beat the Cowboys. So those are my picks, guys. If you guys want to make some money off of that, feel free to. I got the Chargers all the way, and my lock is the Eagles over the Commanders. I also want to quickly mention. I don't know if I actually mentioned this last time, but I actually did go to the Jerry Seinfeld comedy show at the San Diego Civic Theater. It was a great show. Jerry Seinfeld was as hilarious and funny as advertised. And I actually liked his show before Seinfeld. Um, I would give his comedy a 9.9 out of 10. His opener, unfortunately, I didn't get his name. I can't. I don't have a way to find out really, and so I thought his opener was a solid 9 out of 10, actually. So, and I guess they're torn together. So I might have to like look into it more as more shows are happening, and I might catch his name because I think they're going to be together for their tour. So I actually did go to another comedy show at the Amplified Ale Brewery in Pacific Beach. It was hosted by Melissa Weisman. She's the producer, host, comic, and her headliner for that show on Thursday was Al Gabby. Gabby was a fun guy. Got to see him before I got into the place, and pretty funny guy. I actually thought his comedy that night was 9 out of 10. I believe also on the show was Austin Train. I thought his comedy was probably like a 7.8 out of 10. Um, Then I remembered a Dusty Tunnel. His comedy, I thought was probably 6.5 out of 10. Um, I think he got um, lost his maybe his flow when he was trying to ask um, what ethnicity this one lady was in the front row, and she said that she wasn't black, but she was from North Africa, and that kind of threw off Dusty Tunnel, I guess. Um, Also on the show was um, there was a Bob Capella, and he actually sang a song from Bob Marley since he's a Bob Marley impersonator. Thought his was like a good 7.5 out of 10. Um, who else? Oh, there was Roberto Sanchez. I think he's fairly new to the comedy scene, and I think he did pretty well. He mentioned that he had lesbian roommates who I believe I've met. Um, so I might have some people to go with me to another comedy show. Um, I thought Roberto Sanchez stand up was about 7 out of 10. And who else? Uh, I guess I didn't pick up. I maybe picked up on one joke maybe from Melissa Weisman because she was doing stand up in between comics, and I actually thought her comedy that night was probably a 7.7 out of 10. I'm trying to remember who else was on the show. Uh, Al Gabby, Melissa Weisman, Dusty Tunnel, Austin Train, Bob Capella. Um, I actually don't remember who else was on the show. So there you go. That's my ratings for the Thursday one. And then I went to another comedy show um, Saturday at Gillys Bar in El Cajon. And it was hosted by Lucey Love. First time I actually got to meet her. She's really nice. I thought her comedy was about 7.5 out of 10. And then I remember there was a Xana Weiss. I thought her comedy was about a 6.9 out of 10. Um, she talked about lesbianism, about are you sure you're lesbian or are you a lesbian? Stuff about being a lesbian. Um, then there was Victoria Para, who I've seen before at the mic drop. Um, I thought her comedy was 7 out of 10. And I remember seeing Sarah Lynn. She was a stripper actually at night, and she's a comic by day. Thought her comedy was about I would say a 7 out of 10. Um, Talked about how getting a massage from a client customer, and how it wasn't even like a top five, and the guy must have kept saying, "Who gives the best massages?" And then she said stuff like, "My boyfriend," and then for $20, you're not even the top five. It's not even worth to kind of praise exaggerate the quality of massages from a client. So, yeah. But she's cool though. Like, I talked to her after the show. Um, and then there was Melissa. I got to see her again. Her comedy actually, I felt it was better this time at Gillies, so I give her comedy this time was like a 8.5 at Gillies, and I was actually part of her material, so that was kind of cool. Um, and then let's see, and then I guess technically there was a headliner. It was Camille Waters. She was the last comic to go up, and she was the last scheduled one to be on there. So technically, I guess I would assume that she was the headliner, but I could have sworn Lucy Love said that she was the headliner. So I thought Camille's stand up was about a 8 out of 10. So it's kind of cool. Some of these comics and new material, and plus there was an open mic after, and I actually got to meet Mike Michael Cologne, I guess, after the show. Thought his comedy was probably, from what I remembered, was probably a 7.9 out of 10. So I thought that was pretty cool. Yeah, and then I think there was a Chuck Foster there. He did some open mic. I remember seeing Mike Freeman showing up, and Kylie Troop, I think, also showed up. Um, and then there was one who had like a football reference to like a football huddle of naked girls outside of her apartment room or hotel room or something. And I remembered there was a lady who talked about um, uh, I can't remember. She only had 3 minutes to talk. Actually, I remember something about um, uh, wait, like what's wait, um, what am I not beautiful enough or something? Uh, so she got I guess it was like um, a double standard or some sort of differential treatment or something about her looks. So yeah, I remember there was this other guy. He was kind of cool though, but I didn't catch his name. Might have been Alejandro or something. So and then apparently I actually had shown like maybe 10 minutes late to this, and um, uh, apparently there was two guys that went up, and it was supposed to be an all-female show. So apparently they may have bonded. They didn't really connect with the crowd that was there, and the crowd was actually half comics actually. Um, so yeah. Um, uh, oh, and it's weird. I actually ran into Ace Diaz, who is DJ Monkey Feet. Um, apparently, he's the owner of the Grand in El Cajon, and he brought up the whole fact about the whole Benji Reyes thing and how he heard about my fallout with Benji. So, uh, I mean, we're pretty cool, and I told him my side of the story, and I guess he heard his side from Benji Reyes' side of his story, and I kind of just filled in like what happened about being banned for life from his comedy show, and then just kind of like stupid crap or something. So whatever, I can find other shows, um, and maybe I'm just kind of gaining a reputation that I get around for all these comedy shows between LA and San Diego. So it's kind of cool, and I don't know if this will become something big down the road. Still kind of finding my footing in life. Yeah. Um, so yeah, if you're a comic and I come to your shows, I will take pictures if I can, and I'll tag anybody who's relevant to the photo, and I'll promote on my own free will, and hopefully because of me promoting, and I have my network of friends, and I'm trying to make new network of friends, and there could be kind of um, a cross interest between groups of circle of friends, and they'll see that these comedy shows are really fun to go to. So that's pretty much on my own goodwill, doing my part, and trying to find the right comics on Instagram and tagging them. Um, so yeah, it's a lot of fun to go to these shows, and I like to share my experiences, and it's cool. It's really cool to meet these great people. So, all right, guys, I'm gonna cut this short. If it was, I kind of ranted on my Spotify about the same material, kind of, but this is actually a little more elaborate, elaborate in this case. So, All right, guys. Tiggy Maximus signing off. Talk to you guys later. Watch some good football.